Hey everybody, Texas Trucker here, Lance's Performance Shop, LoneStarMopars.com. It is Mopar Monday. We're getting some things done here in the shop, and we have got an absolutely massive, long overdue, super intense haul from Ernst. If you were unaware, everything Ernst does is made in the USA. It also has a lifetime guarantee, so if you get frustrated because you break pegs off of your current trays or current socket holders, you want to try something else, it's available at a great price, made in America, and should you ever break anything, your employees break anything, Ernst will stand behind it. They are the place to go. Bought all this direct. I'll try to link it as best I can. I've been having an issue where I want to get this stuff coming to organize the box better, but I keep buying more tools, and then it kind of like changes. I kick something out of a cart to a box to a different box to a different cart, and it's just slowly been an accruing issue, and I don't know if there will ever be an end. I would like to say that there will be, but that would probably be disingenuous, because there's always going to be something that I think is going to be worth picking up or trying out or upgrading to, right? Or just even moving around, and it just kept growing and getting put off and getting put off, and just it's like a snowball going downhill. It was getting out of control. I had to just stand in front of the thing, take a hit, and say, I'm gonna start here. So spreadsheets were made, notes were taken, jotted down, redone. Second spreadsheet was made. This is, if nothing else, a good start. And I've done this pretty much ad nauseum. I'm not sure how much more we can cover, but there are some changes, and I did have an idea how to kind of make this one maybe a little more interesting for you. So if you haven't seen this stuff, you want to see it in my usual detail, the videos are there, and I like the stuff so well, I've gone as far to absolutely butcher these things to the exact lengths and sizes that I need for either socket sets or drawer confinements, right? And it's fun, it's useful, it's not too difficult to do, and it is extremely satisfying when you have everything laid out with these. Now, what I want to kind of get started with is some of these items you may not see for a while, all right? And some of them include this. This is an 18-inch blue magnetic rail. It's got 3/8 pegs on it. The reason for that, if I come in and find it, it was $19.95. It's going to work. My plans tentatively are to try and hold a combination of like adapters, reducers, and extensions. I don't exactly know how it's going to pan out. I very well might want to break it down and wish I would have gotten 13 or 2/8 or something. Gonna start here and just see what happens. On that same front, I want to say all of these are going to work. Some of them might have been intended for here. There's a total of 4 of them. All right, we've got 8-inch magnetic rails. Again, I've kind of got it planned out what I'm gonna do. You'll see there's 3/8 and quarter and kind of a variety and mixture. Great thing with Ernst, if you bought 3/8 and you need to switch to quarter and you don't have pegs, you can buy just pegs. You can buy just rails. You'll note these aren't in socket bosses. Something I want to highlight here right off the bat, and this is new to me because everything we've had has been in the past. If I hold this one up, all right, you'll look at it and you'll be like, okay, yep, there's your little peg. It would go in your tray like so. What's the big deal? Well, let me grab this one. Notice anything different? Well, this is the same end, same orientation. Hopefully you can deduce that. Check that branding out. That's right, Ernst has gone next level here. And, it's something so subtle and so simple, but it looks really good in my opinion. So prior to that, they really didn't have, like, granted, you know, if you know, you know, but if you don't know, maybe you've got like a community box, you know, at work, or you've got stuff you supply for your workers, and the worker's like, man, you know, my foreman laid this out beautifully. What are these socket organizers? Maybe he's a little shy, doesn't want to ask, can't find it, can't figure it out for himself. Now you know, right? Granted, you can totally cover that up with a peg, but that one has it. The other 2 have it. This one doesn't. The 18-inch has it. The rest of the order's kind of a mix as well. Sometimes you'll see it, sometimes you won't. That said, our 8-inch rails They're coming in at $17.95. Again, you do kind of pay a premium for them because, again, they are magnetic. You're not going to see the magnets there, but on this 18-incher, you can see it. And you're thinking like, whoa, there's only one magnet. Well, no, there's a counter magnet about this area. The thing is, I have loaded these down, and they actually do hold very well. This is something that goes through this thick rubber mat. Hopefully you can pick up on that. Again, I've tested it and showcased it countless times in the past, so we're going to call that good. What should we start with next? Good Lord, I don't even know. Let me show you how massive of a haul this is, all right? Keep in mind, a lot of this will be cut down. A lot of it will be combined. A lot of it's going to go into like 3-row trays instead of 2 rows. Some of it will be standalone. They're all different sizes. And that way I can just kind of mix and match and pull what I want and need. Yeah. The orange and the green. That's what we do for SAE orange, green metric. It's worked well for me. I also do green and blue, blue SAE, green metric. I personally love it. I don't care if people think it looks like a neon circus freak show. It's awesome to me. Some of you will agree, some of you disagree, and for those of you that disagree, you can have black, you can have red, you can have red and blue, conventional metric and SAE colors. But for me, this is like, it's like we're jumping back in time to the late 60s, early 70s, and I don't want that generic black from Mr. Ford. I'm going to get some Chrysler colors in my life, so that's exactly what we're doing. This one here, I'm very excited about. This is a 13-inch socket boss. I want to note, still, as of recording this, the green and the orange are only available in 18-inch iterations. You're like, wait, I've seen those in 13. Yeah, because I chopped 5 inches off. Okay. Blue, though, the rest of the colors, blue, red, black, and Hi-Viz, you can get 13-inch. This will be going to work. This will do my 3/8 shallow and 3/8 deep impacts. And I do want to highlight how good that branding looks right there. Again, very, very minor. But it does look awesome. While we're on the topic of that, here's the quarter, no Ernst. Here is 3/8 that has Ernst, especially on the orange. That pops even more than the blue. Similarly, if we can get this one in frame, that's all falling down there, but check that out. It just pops so well. Again, if you don't like it, you can cover it up. It's not like prominent or anything, but it's a very nice touch. Makes a lot of sense from a marketing standpoint, and like I said, personally, I am a fan. Now, basically what we have there, 18-inch socket boss in orange, 25 bucks, 3/8 18-inch green, 25 bucks. They're all pretty much $25, all right? Where we're going to deviate, and I've never had one of these. I'm really excited about it. I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. I've had a Bit Boss in this color. You're thinking, oh, a color? Well, what color haven't you had, Mr., Go Man Go in Sublime Green? The answer is Hi-Viz. And I'm going to drop this down. It's like an eye-searing yellow. Sticking with the Mopar colors, we want to go top banana, citron yellow. It's just a beautiful, beautiful sight to behold, especially again with the black Ernst there. It just really pops. I kind of wish personally, and they may have done it, for all I know, I would have liked to have seen those bottom pegs kind of have an Ernst logo somewhere down there. Again, they run the risk of it getting covered up if you pack it down or something, but it just looks really good. This one right here is a little spendy, but it is 3-row. $29.95. That's actually the most expensive thing in this entire order. So I want to say that's pretty much it, minus these. All right. Right here, I have got that, a 3-row socket boss, and then I've got a couple of 2-row socket boss trays. And you're thinking like, whoa, hey, you're missing some stuff. No, this is the great thing about Ernst. If you want to buy just the pegs, you can buy just pegs. If you want an assortment of quarter, 3/8, and half, you can do it. If you just want 3/4, make it happen. You just need quarter, buy them. Similarly, you can get the tray separately. If you bought like magnetic rails and it didn't quite work out, or you think, man, I really like the magnetic thing, but I wish in my box or cart they were in a tray like my other stuff, you can totally make that happen. Similarly, the rails available standalone. There's so many things that you can do, and it's all interchangeable. I can take 3/8 pegs off this orange rail and throw them on the Hi-Viz one. If you want the Hi-Viz rail and this 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch setup to have a little bit of each on, you know, maybe you've just got a crazy expansive torque set and inverted torques, and we'll come in and say, I don't know, triple squares, and you've got 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2, but you want them lined up on the same rail. You can move your 1/4 pegs from here to the 3/8 rail. You can move 3/8 pegs here. Modular and interchangeable, all made in America, and again, warranted. So that's just everything I got right there. And you're thinking like, dude, you didn't get any wrench pros? You haven't shown those. I know. These sockets are driving me nuts. I can't stress that enough. The wrenches, we'll get to that at some point in time. I was sort of waiting on something else they have in the pipeline, and I could not wait anymore. I actually held out. This is important. Let me segue into this. I was waiting for a sale. I hit the breaking point. I was like, you know, I'm never going to get it all in one whack. I've just got to start somewhere. I waited and waited probably like 3 months. I was thinking like, okay, Ernst is going to have another sale. You know, they have fairly frequent sales. You know, they had, I think the last discount was a spring sale. And I was like, okay, Father's Day, here we go. It didn't happen. I was like, Independence Day, didn't happen. I was just looking 10, 15%, whatever, anything. And I couldn't ever get it, but they did a promo, and it's actually active right now for the month of July. Not sure when you'll see this video, but the promo was Freedom Red or Freedom Blue, and what that code gets you is a 3-compartment tray in your choice of colors, red or blue. These are great, especially if you're organizing extensions, pins, markers, cable ties, anything in this confined space. Again, we've covered these in insane detail in the past. I won't bore you with it, which probably means you didn't watch those videos and you wish that you would have seen measurements there. But, again, I will direct you to Ernst website, and before you accuse me of having affiliate links and this is all just to plunder you, no, none of it. I don't make a dime. You could go replicate this whole order and they'll just probably think that you're crazy. And I don't see a dime. You can tell them I sent you. I don't see a dime. I buy this stuff because I genuinely believe in it. It's been great to me. The oldest Ernst rail that I've used in recent time is one from, geez, probably 4 to 6 years now, and it's in a bag, a mobile bag, and I've never had issues with it. I've weighed that thing down. It got to the point I scaled it, and I think it was like 68 pounds. That's when I got tired of like lugging it around, and I finally broke down and bought a cart. But in that bag, I had a little Ernst 13-inch, you know, blue strip, and I had sorted impact sockets, adapters, and hex bits and stuff. It was a rock star. It's still a rock star. It's actually now in my cart at work. That's how durable they are. Again, I've got some couple other more items here I didn't actually showcase. And yes, if you're curious, they are socket related. But what I want to do now is just kind of break this down and give you some eye candy. All right, so project number 1 is not this. This is already a complete custom, right? What we did here, we took 18-inch orange rails, because again, that's the only way we can get them. And this very special one is cut to unique dimensions. Again, if you missed that video, check it out. It's a custom tray too. And those were for 1/4 drive SAE Capri impacts. Again, it's primarily run with battery ratchets. I've never owned 1/4 drive impact sockets really prior to that. And I thought, well, you know, they're a great buy. Let's pull the trigger. The catch is, you got to complement that with your metric sockets, right? So, beautifully laying down here, we've got the metric set. And if I line that up, you'll note there are way more sockets in metric land, right? So SAE, we went 3/16, 9/16, pretty comprehensive for 1/4. In metric, we go 4 to 15, and they've got those funky half sizes here. So a lot more sockets, a lot more real estate. These were just simply cut down to 13 inches, and I didn't have this. And this simple tray that we were able to pick up standalone allows us to finally get these things in place and call it good. So it's that simple. Again, if you've not familiar with these, it's little lock right here. You can just slide that out, so on and so forth. And now we finally have our quarter drive sockets, impact sockets, stored in perfect color coordinated harmony. So that was project 1. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so up next is going to be this beautiful little hero. This is the 18-inch, obviously, since it's green, half-inch Socket Boss 2-row. And what it is going to be the future home of is this right here. These suckers are kind of been the bane of my existence in the roll cart. They're getting moved out, but I wanted to put them on a prop rail. Some of you are like, does that look like a 21 and a 27 that are highlighted and penciled in there? Yeah, this goes way back when I thought we would do that. This was a rail we'd brought in, I think, from Olsa to try out. And not terrible, but it's a pain to move around and pick up. And then, of course, we have these that were just the corresponding sockets. And we are going to get these things a proper home on that Ernst rail. Technically, we could probably get by with like a custom length, maybe 16-inch, but I mean, is it really worth it? I don't know. And then if we added a socket or wanted an extension or adapter or something, you can go that way. But regardless of if these stay in the cart or go to a box, which I'm kind of planning on doing with them, the one by the door that the people have access to, you know, that I'm like, yeah, I'll grab a socket from over there. That's where this will come in. So I'm going to go ahead, get to work, and label this thing up and get some sockets rehomed. Man, that looks nice, and man, this is a good tip here. I'm going to go ahead and share with you a really, really nice thing to do. This is a 5.5 from Wiha, and these stupid pegs that they switched to, used to you could kind of reuse these, not the case anymore. That fits perfectly on the peg, and it allows you to not only depress the peg, but also get the socket free. So it obviously works better if I have a second hand to free to hold on to things, but you get the idea. These are all free, and it's all because of that driver. Alright, a few short minutes later, boom, there we go. So much better than the way it was set up. We've got the shallows and the deeps joined together. This is funky Pittsburgh stuff, so you've got like no 18, and then you have an 18 deep, but no, they kind of combine shallow and deep to go 10 to 32, essentially, with a couple of skips, but that is so much more aesthetically pleasing. I'm so glad they're organized out of that idiotic thing that they went to with their, those used to be pretty legit, you know, if you wanted to reuse them, you could technically reuse that, but it would be a pain and the pegs break, but so much cleaner. We'll kind of get that set up. I'm actually going to pull these back off, especially the deeps. These were terrible sockets. I was very unhappy with them in terms of just out of the box. These were a lot better, the deeps, but they were like super oiled. And I'm going to go ahead and I just set them on some paper, and in the time I took to put the labels out, it was like wicking the oil out. So I'll set that back up, kind of have them hopefully wick out, protect the labels. But super, super nice. I did slide this tin down so we could see that Ernst a little cleaner. Just such a nice touch. And again, I don't really think there's any point. I could compact these and lop off an 1.5 inches, 2 inches or something, but this is fine. There were 4 pegs on each rail that we didn't use, so now I've got those in our surplus. But a very, very nice upgrade in my opinion. Alright, so got the 1/2 inch Pittsburgh set aside, wicking some moisture. What crazy project upgrade are we going to do next? Well, real quick, we're going to throw down not 1, but 2 of the Ernst 3/8 18-inch socket bosses. Again, that's the only way that you can get the greens. Standalone rails, socket boss 18-inch. Doesn't matter, quarter, 3/8, half, it's 18-inch. Hopefully that changes in the future, but for now, we're going to combine that with this. Some of you are scoring at home and you're like, hey, that looks a lot shorter. Oh, well, it is. It's 5 inches shorter. This just keeps going, and that's the lip, right? So what we've got going on, we only need 3 of these 18-inch rails. As you might have guessed, we're going to lop off 5 inches, create one of our like semi-custom ones, 13-inch, 3-row. If it's green, you know it's metric. So what are we going to house there? Well, we've got these beautiful 3/8 drive 12-point Kokens. We got shallow, we got deep, and if you're thinking like, wait, it's 3 rows, semi-deep. So awesome. 8 to 19. It's almost dead on 13 inches. If you actually like measure this, you can see Koken's got it on 12 with these spaces. If you wanted to expand that, you totally could. You could also, I think 7, 6 kind of makes sense. You know, granted you'll probably shear something off there, but you know, if you're careful. Same thing, if you want to go up a little bit, you could do that. But for me, I'm just keeping this basic in the cart, 8 to 19. I may add a 7, honestly, but that's pretty legit. We've got space for it. We're going to cut these 18-inch rails down 5 inches to 13, plug them in, and plug on these beautiful Kokens. Again, I know there's probably fan noise, but man, that is so satisfying. 8 to 19 as spaced by Ernst. It's time to cut these things down. Well, that looks the same, you're thinking, and yeah, I agree. Also, the fan's off because I had to plug the saw in, and you say, saw? Yeah. Boom! 5 inches off, 18 minus 5. Last I checked was 13. Well, let's see how these nest in the tray. So it's time for the big reveal. Hopefully you have faith in me. If you're new here, did you doubt me? You shouldn't have, because look at that beautiful sight. 8 to 19, Ernst green 3/8, 3-row, 13-inch. We have to make it happen because we needed it. All we've got to do now is drop down the Koken sockets, and this is another project wrapped. And there you have it, that beautiful thing right there, complete with the new rails. Featuring the Ernst branding that for some reason just really makes me think it looks so much better. 8 to 19 Koken 3/8 drive, 12-point deep, semi-deep, and shallow. Finally have a proper home. I'd have to say it's a slight upgrade over the spring steel rails there. So I think I'm going to call it there. I've got a lot of the blue ones I'm about to grab, take to work. I'll try to showcase those at some point in time. And the other stuff, we'll run with it. Hi-Viz I really wanted to put here, but the more I thought about it, I just got more and more excited, and I thought, you know what, we're going to make a standalone on that one. So if you want to see that thing in action, subscribe, stay tuned, look for it, whatever. I think it's going to be pretty neat. I'm excited to see it myself. Obviously, I haven't done it yet, or I'd show you. But the biggest problem I have, it's almost 10:30. I've not eaten anything, and I got to go to work in the morning. So yeah, I'm going to get out of here also, since I had to plug in the saw. Fan went off and it's really hot, so I'm gonna get inside, make peanut butter and jelly on expired bread, see how that goes. And yeah, we will pick up here. So absolutely massive haul from Ernst. We got to showcase the Pittsburgh 1/2-inch metric impact sockets getting properly homed. Again, man of my word, I've got those things there wicking onto that paper. You can actually see where we're pulling some of the oil out of them. I'm doing that in hopes of not like having the labels curl up. These Kokens, no issues there. They're chrome. They didn't have, you know, residual oil or anything. So plus this will allow me to edit the video, which is nice, and I can clear it off. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So the Hi-Viz, that's, if I get time tomorrow, that's what I'm doing. I'm that excited about it. And like I said, stuff's going to work. The rest of it, a little involved. We'll kind of see how it pans out, but I think it's going to turn out well. So I do hope you enjoyed. Again, this stuff, if you were unaware about it, it's from Ernst. It's fully customizable, and I don't mean that like chopping stuff off. I mean, you can totally leave them 18 inches and get by. But what I mean is, like, if you wanted 8, 9, and 10 and quarter drive, 3/8 drive, and 1/2-inch drive, and then you wanted to repeat 8, 9, and 10 and a 1/2-inch drive, you can do that. If you want every single, let's just say 10, you've got quarter drive and shallow, semi-deep, and deep, and super shallow and extra deep, and 6-point and 12. You can just line this thing. You could do whatever you want to with these. You are limited to 1/4 to 3/4 inch in terms of the pegs they've got, but past that, whatever you come up with, whatever you want to customize or perfect for your storage or situation or job, you can do it. And you can do it with these. They're made in America. They're very reasonably priced, in my opinion. Again, basically what you saw there, the socket bosses, $25, consider them. That's 2 rails, 18 inches, all the pegs, the tray. The trays are available individually, pegs available individually. I've covered it ad nauseum. Just cannot say enough good things about it. But yeah, that looks so good, and it's going to look even better in the box. But with that said, I am starving and I'm hot. I'm going to go take care of that. But do hope you enjoyed. Again, let me know your thoughts on this. Are you new to Ernst? Are you old to Ernst? What do you think of the logo? That's really our big new thing. And again, it looks like I got kind of a mixed order. Some have the logo, some don't. I don't know if they're clearing out all the old stock, or maybe, you know, some new stock got shelved in front of the old. Who knows? But I am a fan. If you hate that, half the time it's going to be occluded by a socket, for example, with 1/2-inch drive. The rest of the time, I mean, you can literally shimmy one of those over and cover it up. So keep that in mind. But personally, I just think it looks really good. So that's kind of how they do the snap-on rails. If you think, man, you know, that looks a lot like Johnny's, but he's a big snap-on guy and he spends tons of money on everything, he wouldn't, you know, pick up these $25 rails. Well, guess what? Ernst makes these for snap-on. So if you see the little snap-on S right there in Johnny's box, guess what? You know the OEM, and you can save a lot of money. As long as you're fine not having that little snap-on logo, you can save the cash. But anyway, man, this is just so satisfying. I can rip these out really, really fast. So far, nothing's coming up. I tried to keep my hands clean, and then I do kind of use that little razor blade right there, just kind of lay things out. The Wiha right there that got the Harbor Freight sockets off, it's also really good to pry these extra clips off. If anyone was like, why does this idiot have that lid for stuff like that? I kind of knew what I'm doing at this point in time, but yeah. So you get some bonus clips. You do have some residual if you go this route, but again, the 18-inch, most of us can find something to do there. If you are wicking every last square inch out, you want everything full custom. They currently don't offer orange and green in the 13-inch iterations. You'll have to do something like I did. The good news is super easy. But yeah, I'm going to quit rambling and get inside. I hope you enjoyed, learned a little something. Again, your thoughts and opinions, always appreciated. Is Ernst your go-to? Do you like Ernst? Do you find it good? Do you have something you like better? Do you drill, you know, like holes in a block of wood? Do you prefer the spring steel rails and you just fasten them to a piece of wood? Do you tack up your own? Do you like Hansen trays, mechanics time savers, whatever? If there's something that you're using that you like, feel free to tell people. But for me, it's pretty tough to beat these, so especially when you consider they are made in America. But once again, I thank you so much for watching. You know the drill, the website, LoneStarMopars.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all 3 at Lone Star Mopars. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, and let me know your thoughts. If you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. If you do that, you ring the bell, you jump your charger across the creek. YouTube just might notify you when we do that Hi-Viz 3-rail 13-inch socket boss project. And, like I said, it's super satisfying if you like living through someone else, you know. There you go. You can take pride in the organization and cleanliness we try to execute things with. But on that front, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Most importantly, I hope I catch you back here for more action from the shop.